Hello world, hello YouTube. This is my first video. My name is Felix. I'm 47 years old. Um, I um, I've been addicted to opiates since 1995, with about a 5 year stretch where I was clean. I started using heroin in the 90s in New York. First time somebody gave it to me and didn't tell me what it was, and I got addicted from that first try. It just blew my doors off. I remember next day I was already going by myself to Alphabet City to look for heroin by myself. Very quickly it progressed to everyday use. My family saw what was happening to me and tried to get me help. I went through two rehabs in Monticello, long-term rehabs. Went through every detox in New York, in every borough. Doctors and nurses already knew me. They're like, "Oh, Felix is back." I went through rapid detox with Dr. Guberman. If anybody knows that name, they know what I'm talking about. This is the first doctor that started doing rapid detox. He eventually lost his license because people died on his operating table. Um, after that, close to when I did the rapid detox, I was clean for about a year. At that time, they didn't have Vivitrol, and they used to cut up your body, your arm, and your stomach, and insert these big pills in there, and then sew it up. And that they could only do it for 12 months. After that, your body got used to it, and it wouldn't work anymore. So that year I was clean, but after that I went back to heroin again. Towards the end of 90s in 99, I met my now ex-wife. Um, she When she got pregnant with my first child, our daughter, I went to a methadone program because nothing else worked for me. I couldn't stay clean, and methadone helped me. Although I still thought about using, but when my daughter was born, that kind of changed my whole life. After that, it just changed my world. I love my children. I love my baby girl. Um, when she was born, that just completely changed my world, changed my life. I was still on methadone. I was never on high dose. I think the highest dose I went to was like 60 milligrams or something. But I continued to do that. I was in the program, methadone program when she was born. But I got a job. Um, my life kind of straightened out. Um, I was on methadone for about 10 years. Um, when we moved to Maryland in 2005, when we moved to Maryland, I didn't go in the program. I just kind of found people that would sell their weekend bottles, and I would buy one or two bottles, and just take, a teaspoon of methadone every day. In 2010, my son was born, and when my son when my son was born, I decided that I didn't want to be on methadone anymore. I wanted to be a good role model for my boy, and I started looking for ways that would help me detox. Every time I tried to do it cold turkey would maybe last a week or something, and the withdrawals were just horrible. They were even worse from methadone than they were from heroin. So I couldn't do it, and I started looking for ways where I could detox. And I found this medical study that was done in 1990. Oh, I'm sorry, in the late 70s or early 80s. And I found the medical study ironically on a conspiracy website called Rents. They had this section about suppressed medical studies, and this was one of them. And so the way this study worked, at first they kind of discovered this treatment by accident. The doctors were working with terminally ill cancer patients that were on high dose of opiates, but at the same time, they were dealing with a lot of pain. And so they wanted to see what else they could use to alleviate their pain, and they started giving them large doses of ascorbic acid or sodium ascorbate. And so it helped them with the pain, but as a byproduct of that, they stopped using opiates and they didn't have any withdrawals. So they decided to do a medical study, controlled medical study, and I think they used like 30 people. It was done in New York. They were, some of them were on heroin, some on methadone, and so they took this group of people and started giving them sodium ascorbate, 5 grams every 2 hours, or if any withdrawals were felt, they would break the dose in half and give it to them every hour. And at that point, they didn't have any withdrawals. So the medical study was, a great success. I think they also did the same study in Australia. And so when I found the study, I was kind of hesitant. It took me like a year to try it, and I only tried it when I couldn't find the person that I would get my bottles from. And so at that point in time, I said, you know what, I might as well try it. And so I started taking vitamin C, sodium ascorbate on Sunday. I think Saturday I didn't take any methadone, or I took very little. Sunday morning is when I started. By Sunday evening, I felt incredible. The only issue that I had was I had like really bad diarrhea. But for anyone who has ever done methadone, the constipation is just it's terrible. I mean, you go to the bathroom like once a week or something. So I actually welcomed it. Just cleaning myself out. Monday I went to work, still taking sodium ascorbate. I just kind of stayed close to the bathroom, and it took me about 7 to maybe 9 days to clean myself. I was also taking vitamins. I think it was vitamin B complex. I was also taking St. John's wort, a couple of other things, and another thing that I was taking, I was making myself green tea with like a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, honey, and lemon, and I would drink that throughout the day. With cayenne pepper, they call it the prince of all herbs because it virtually cleans like every major organ in your body, from your stomach to colon to intestines to arteries. So it took me about like like I said, about 9 days to really detox, and I did. The incredible thing was, I think like at the end of the first day, maybe second day, you get this buzz in your head from vitamin C, because the way it works is vitamin C fits exactly into the opiate receptor sites, and so that's the reason why you have no withdrawals. When you take enough of it, it goes into the receptor sites, and you just get this like buzz or this rush in your head, in your brain, like you literally feel your head just buzzing. Great mood, and I just felt awesome. Also, like my second day or something, I started feeling like it's almost like this fog was lifting from my brain. I would go outside, and the colors were more vivid. The smells and everything else. It just felt awesome. After I did that, after I detoxed, I was still taking sodium ascorbate, but not in such big doses. I would take, I think, about maybe 10 grams a day, and that's what it says in the study, that you should take about 10 grams, just to feel good, to feel right, because most of the mammals, they actually make their own ascorbic acid. I think humans and like some primates, and some bats are the only mammals that don't. So I was taking that, and I was clean for about 5 years until in 2015. I have history of kidney stones, and in 2015 I had two kidney stones that were 10 millimeters each. I remember driving to work and I just felt this pain that I've never felt before in my life. I mean, I couldn't even drive myself to the hospital. I just had to park the car and call 911. And the ambulance came. They took me to the hospital. They gave me intravenous painkillers, and they did a X-ray or CAT scan or something, and they said that I had two kidney stones, and they were about 10 millimeters each. They also told me that only 20% of people pass stones that big. So I could either wait for them to come out, or I could go and I guess see like a urologist, and they can see if they could break up the stones. I didn't have insurance, and so I kind of dealt with it. Oh, and they also gave me a script for Percocets when I left the hospital, and that was just that was beginning of the end. I was kind of like in constant pain, but it took me a year to like pass these stones. But four times a year, the pain was so bad that I had to either go to emergency or call 911 to be taken to the hospital. In order to deal with the pain, I had to work. In order to deal with the pain, I just started buying any painkillers that I could find. Very quickly went to heroin, went back to heroin. The stones passed after about a year, but my addiction to heroin was it was terrible. I mean, I had a really good job. I was making a lot of money, and I couldn't quit it. I kept saying to myself, "Oh, detox, use vitamin C," but I just couldn't do it. I think it's different kicking heroin and methadone. Methadone doesn't get you high, and heroin does, and that high, I just couldn't let it go. In the 5 years since then, um, up to this point, I basically killed my family. My wife, we have two beautiful kids. My ex-wife left me in 2018. She couldn't deal with it anymore, and I can blame her. I was spending all our money on drugs, on heroin. Um, my dose towards in 2020, I had two DUIs within a week of each other. My dose was probably from $100 to $200 a day. Like I said, I was making really good money, and was spending all of it on drugs. I kind of know the ballpark figure of how much I spent, but I'm afraid to actually like count it, to multiply it, because I think I'm gonna have a heart attack if I do. So after the DUIs, the first one was the police stopped me. They found drugs in my system. They found drugs in my car. They took my blood. Found drugs in my blood. Obviously, when I got the medical result from the blood work, um, it was so long. I felt like I was opening up those scrolls that they have in Egypt that roll out. I mean, there were like two things that I knew that were there. It was like, I think it was like fentanyl and something else, and then the rest of it I didn't, which shows like the stuff that they put in drugs nowadays. I live near Baltimore, so that's where I get drugs, and Baltimore is the epicenter of this terrible thing, terrible addiction. People die all the time. Anyway, my second DUI happened a week later, and the thing is, when the police stopped me, I told them that I just had a DUI like a week ago, and they were like, "Well, we're gonna drive you to, some street, and why don't you sleep it off and then, go home in the morning?" And my dumbass, I slept for like an hour and then woke up, and I'm like, "Oh, what am I doing here? I gotta go home." And started driving and crashed my 2019 Toyota Tacoma. I love that car. And the same police came that stopped me before, and this time they arrested me. So I had the two court cases already. One of them I got 2 years probation. The other one I got some time in jail that I served. After my DUI, my ex-girlfriend now, she paid for rapid detox once again. I took a bus to Detroit because I didn't have my license. I couldn't fly there. I had to take 2 buses to Detroit. Did the rapid detox, took the withdrawal shot. That lasted for about a month, and I relapsed again. Since then, I've been to rehab. I tried to kick it by myself, but I couldn't. Also, in the last 5 years, I've totaled like 5 cars. Put my family through hell. My poor parents. I've just made their lives miserable instead of helping them. I'm just torturing them really. So, which brings us to now. I had another accident a couple of weeks ago because I was high. My car is in the shop now. I can't work, and so I decided to detox once again, to use the method that I detoxed before with, which now I really have no choice. I can't work. I don't have money. I literally have maybe I have some change. And that's about what I have to my name right now. So I'm gonna be documenting my detox process. I'm gonna make another video a little bit later today, and I'm gonna video the stuff that I'll be taking for detox. I took my last dose last night about 12 o'clock. Um, I woke up this morning. I feel okay. I mean, that stuff that they put in drugs, that in dope now in Baltimore, they're super strong. I feel okay now, but I'm gonna start my detox process. I'm gonna take my first dose of sodium ascorbate probably after I make this video, and I'll make another video and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna be using to detox. I'm gonna be documenting every day about about the detox, about what I'm taking, about how I'm feeling. Since I detoxed before about 10 years ago, there has been some medicine that I found out about that helps with the detox process. Mainly, it's gabapentin, Repinarole, and there's another medicine that they gave me for sleep, which is great. You need sleep. Sleep is so vital when you're detoxing from opiates. Um, so I'm gonna make a video about all the stuff that I'll be taking and documenting it every day, and that's what my channel is gonna be about. It's about being, back from hell. I can't wait. I probably look like death right now, but the transformation that you go through, even day to day when you started detoxing, is amazing. The colors and how your body feels, and everything else is just amazing. I can't wait. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of being sick and tired. It's a saying that I heard, I think, in like AA or NA rooms or something. Um, so that's it. See you guys later and wish me luck. Thank you.